Tantor with a recap of Georgia Tech's 28-23 victory over the U, Miami. And I think that throws a monkey wrench into the ACC's plans of having a top team there in the playoff. But, you know, it's what happens when you have pretenders at the top. We'll just stick with what I like, what I didn't like. What I liked: Tantor fans buying Tantor beers during the game. I like that. Tantor likes that. So that's the best thing that happened here. I want to stay away from most of what I didn't like. But what I didn't like is the season ticket holder that sits next to Tantor sold his tickets to Miami fans. All right. He and I are going to have a conversation before the NC State game in a week and a half. All right. Because that's not going to happen again. Okay. I didn't like that at all. Didn't like having a loudmouth Miami fan. Wait a second, that describes every Miami fan. So we'll just, didn't like having a Miami fan sat next to me the entire game. Well, not all of them. They left after that turnover with a little bit of help from Tantor. All right. It's a darn shame that two of the three best players, actually all three of our best players are injured. Jamal Haynes is hurt, Haynes King is injured, and Kyle Eford is injured. They just gutted it out. King and Eford gutted it out. Who knows if they're going to be available for NC State, but trying to run a game plan with a quarterback that can't throw, that's brutal. That's absolutely brutal. And I just look at the game plan and go, I want to stay off the negativity of what I think about the coaches, but I didn't like this game plan one bit. But they put together the running attack. Jamal Haynes, that first drive was incredible. Him going out 3 carries, 80-some yards and a touchdown. Man, he was just awesome. But we finished the game with the 4th-string running back there with Cooley. I mean, he's on a milk carton. We haven't seen him since FSU. And I think they went to the student center at halftime and got him and suited him up and got him back out there. He had a heck of a game. He had 4 or 5 carries, 25 yards or so. Cooley, he settled things down there in the 4th quarter that allowed us to win. I hated losing Alexander to an injury, but us at our ground attack, we're chewing up some running backs and some quarterbacks with that, and that's not good. I mean, are we going to be looking at having walk-ons out there playing by the season end? But you know what? We are bowl eligible now, and they sacrificed, and they're tough, and Haynes King was one tough dude with the shots that he was taking. All great with Haynes King with the shots. I mean, that was incredible performance that we had there. But I thought the game was won, and what I liked, the offensive and defensive lines were excellent. All right. Our offensive line play has been decreasing recently. Not in this game. This game they took Miami on head on, and they imposed their will on them, and we had over 250 yards rushing. I don't have the stats in front of me, so that's why I don't have the exact, but over 250 yards rushing, and we pretty much ran the ball on them when we wanted to. So that was incredible. And that's offensive line to think about that. And we give a shout out to number 4, Janae, wide receiver, and number 13, what's his name, Canyon. All right, those guys were out there. They didn't get a pass thrown towards them all game long because we only threw the ball like 16 times. So they blocked their asses off. All right. Janae on one of them, he blocked the defensive back 30 yards downfield. That dude looked like he was on roller skates going backwards. All right. Those 2 dudes blocked their asses off the entire game, and they deserve all the credit in the world for running out there and putting their hat on color and just taking them out of the play. Congratulations. That was a great effort by those 2 guys. So the defensive line, they put some pressure on Cam Ward all game, and they were just like a step from getting him. And then when we needed that stop at the end, I just got finished telling these guys, hey, 28 points isn't going to win this game. We're going to lose right here. Cam Ward's going to come through the Heisman winning performance the last time, and he just messed around in the backfield, and we got a strip sack and recovery that we were ended up winning the game on that. Huge play by the defensive line. We got to throw Eifert in there too by blitzing. He had a sack on a blitz, and he pressured on blitzing. And I know all these guys that come in on the comment page, hey, Eifert, he can't cover anybody. No kidding. But we finally have a defensive coordinator that'll use him the way he should be used. He is not a sideline-to-sideline parallel running linebacker. He is a one-gap linebacker. He's a destroyer of offenses. One gap, you send him, you let him do what he does best, and that's to play in the other team's backfield, and they can't handle it. And Miami couldn't handle it. Miami couldn't handle him when he was out there. So, also, a guy I've been kind of hard on this season, number 21, that plays safety for the Jackets, second teamer. He had a hell of a game. He had a hell of a game in the secondary. He was all over the place making tackles. He had a couple of killer tackles, and he had a strip on a pass defense. What a game by that guy. And Powell Lee was playing. Powell Lee did fairly well too. Now, it's debatable on who that tight end was there in the first quarter that he let score. But I don't know if it was Powell Lee or Tatum. One of them was supposed to cover the tight end. No one covered the tight end, and that's why it went so far. But Powell Lee had a good match. We were down. Both starting cornerbacks. We were down. G and Burrell were both out. So Shelley and Harvey had to play the entire game. They would bring some of the young kids out to try to play. So we ran three safeties the entire game. It was Brooks. It was Seymour. It was 21. It was Powell Lee. I mean, they rotated in and out, but they all played pretty good. And you know what, you've listened to me all season long, I'm not a proponent of playing zone defense. When they switched up to zone in the second half, out of necessity, because I think Harvey looked like he rolled his ankle or something. He was walking weird, so he started playing off the receivers 8, 10, 11 yards, and it's like, whoa, that's not good. We went to a zone, and I think that confused Cam Ward with the zone, and it caused him to hold the ball a couple times. So that when we switched over to zone, that actually worked. We rallied, made the tackle. We didn't miss many tackles. We've been missing a lot of tackles. We didn't miss many tackles. This defense played exceptionally well. And I can't sit here and really pick on any of these guys. Restrepo beat Shelley, but that's going to happen. Harvey was a little deep. We nitpick on that. We got a PI call. That stuff's going to happen when you're playing aggressive man. And they're going to get beat because you're playing against the quarterback that's probably had the best season in college football this year. Not against us. He looked like crap against us. So he might have just missed out on the Heisman Trophy with that. Now I think look at Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders as having been favorites for the Heisman Trophy, but it's not Cam Ward after watching him play. He did not have a good game. What I didn't like, I really hate rotating quarterbacks. All right, I can't stand it. Granted, Philo had a touchdown pass to 7, but that was all number 7 because that was duck season. All right, plain and simple. He threw a bunch of ducks today and did not look good. But when we needed it, 3rd and 18 in the fourth quarter, throws a dime to Stockton. That was 27-yard completion to 87. That was perfect. It's a perfect pass. And that's what we need to see, consistency. But it's really difficult to throw a freshman out there and have them play. And basically, every time you put him out there, you're going to pass the ball. And with the Miami defense knowing that every time he comes out there, he's going to throw, that's crazy. So he did perform well, but I wouldn't have done that. And a lot of his throws didn't look that good. So I would think twice about running that game plan out again. But, hey, we won. We're now bowl eligible. That's fantastic. And I got to end this. We'll be back from NC State, but I've got to end this with what I told the Miami fan next to me. You can't spell thug without the U, and get the fuck out of here and shut up.